Can't afford business class to cross an ocean, but want more than the brutally dehumanizing experience of seemingly endless hours in economy class? What if I told you that there was something more affordable in between? Delta's Premium Select is their latest in long-haul premium economy offerings, supposedly an affordable step up from the agony of regular economy class without the eye-watering price tag of business class. But is it worth the price markup? The answer may surprise you. Long-haul flights can be brutal when one lacks the funds to pay for a lie-flat seat up front. And this Christmas, we found ourselves in exactly that position for flights from Seoul, Incheon to Seattle. No business class award availability and business class fares through the roof. But Delta was offering an amazing fare for their Premium Select product, just $1,200 per person round trip. Not relishing the thought of 11 hours as a human sardine, I book without hesitation. Our journey actually commences in the south of South Korea with an idyllically snowy train ride from Daegu to Seoul. By the time I reach the airport, a comfortable 1.5 hours before takeoff, the check-in area is empty except for a group of standby passengers being issued boarding passes. Now, one of the perks of Premium Select is that it comes with Sky Priority check-in, but that lane has been closed and all agents are working on the standby passengers, which means that I wait about 20 minutes before I'm finally assisted because apparently standby passengers take much longer than confirmed ones. While we wait in the lovely environs of Incheon Terminal 2, let us discuss the perks of Premium Select over regular economy. Sky Priority check-in, only a benefit if the counter is actually open. 2 free checked bags at 23 kilograms each, priority boarding in Group 2, enhanced dining and amenities, more legroom, a 34-inch pinch, 7 inches of recline, and an extendable footrest. On the positive side, apparently waiting in line for no apparent reason for a long time now gets me access to the priority lane for security, so I don't have to wait in what looks like pretty damn long lines for security. So yay for being late. Seems like something they shouldn't really reward, but oh well. Thank God Incheon is sensible about it. Onward. Thanks to the priority security lane, I actually have about 20 minutes for a priority pass lounge. However, fate laughs at me, as the Matina Lounge in Terminal 2 has a perpetual waiting line, as you can see here. Incheon Terminal 2 definitely needs more lounge space to accommodate this many travelers. So, instead, I walk about the terminal for a bit before receiving notice that boarding has commenced early. And here is the nose of our A330-300 wide-body Chariot. Premium Select passengers are apparently not premium enough to utilize the premium jet bridge. Oh well. And here is the seat awaiting me. My immediate impression? It looks like Delta's domestic first-class seat, but better. The seat contains a memory foam pillow, a blanket, slippers, headphones, and an amenity kit. However, unlike domestic first class and Delta One, no welcome beverages are brought around. That being said, charmingly brandless bottles of chilled spring water are awaiting us. There is even ostensibly a bottle holder, but not meant for hefty Korean bottles, evidently. I am seated in 20G, a bulkhead seat, on the aisle, which offers a good several inches of extra legroom. I cannot even reach the bulkhead with my toes. The seat has a tiny, tiny bit of in-seat storage in the arm, next to the universal power outlet. And yes, it also has a USB outlet. There are 3 controls for the seat's recline and extendable footrest. I am very excited to see how these impact my ability to sleep. There is also a removable remote control that ostensibly gives one power over things like reading light, volume, and the entertainment system in general. But spoiler alert, mine never works. I end up having to do reach and grabs for every single entertainment choice. Hashtag Contessa World Problems. Now that I am seated, I have time to really examine the sound-canceling headphones and am delighted to see that they are the same ones offered in the Delta One suites, making them a very high-quality item and certainly superior to some business class headphones I've received on other airlines. Looking at you, Air India. Speaking of in-flight entertainment, the screen is the same as for regular economy class, with an entertainment system that is extremely high quality with many new releases in all forms of entertainment, including copious children's offerings. Once we premium selectors are all seated, our cabin attendant, Patrick, introduces himself to us with instructions on how to release our tray tables from the armrest. Apparently, many passengers struggle to figure out the mechanism or even locate it, which Patrick guiltily admitted does bring the cabin attendant some amount of amusement. In another move reminiscent of domestic first class, Patrick then goes around and takes and/or confirms everyone's dinner orders, addressing each passenger by name. You see, in the week before our flight, we received an email presenting us with our dinner options so that we could pre-order and guarantee our choice be available, just like with the Delta One product. And then, a couple of days later, I received another email with the entire premium select food and beverage menu for the flight. It really does look like many business class menus I have seen over the last several years. Note that once on board, this menu is never presented to me again, but thankfully I have screenshots for reference. While we prepare for takeoff, an announcement is made reminding people that in-flight Wi-Fi will not function until an hour or an hour and a half out from landing, and that refunds cannot be issued on any Wi-Fi purchased. Note that we had received an email 2 days in advance stating the same, so hopefully no one made the mistake of pre-purchasing Wi-Fi access. Takeoff happens in a delightfully boring manner, no excitement whatsoever, my preferred takeoff. As soon as we reach 10,000 feet, Patrick and his team launch into action to commence food service. To my extremely pleasant surprise, the service is reminiscent of higher class cabins. For instance, hot towels of wonder are delivered, real washcloths made of cotton terry cloth. That's even better than Korean Air business class, for instance, where you get a cold packaged wet wipe. Next, the beverage carts are brought around for pre-dinner drinks, which come with a classy tablecloth and a snack of mixed nuts and raisins. Cold drinks are served in upper-class glassware, while hot beverages, green tea in this case, are served in parochial Starbucks-branded paper cups. The cynic in me wonders if the use of Starbucks cups funds the use of the glassware. And they refilled beverages without me asking, so far service in Premium Select is pretty premium. And here are the extensive options that were actually made available in the Delta app in advance of the flight. Note that they did not have the so-called selection of Thrive tea, only black tea and green tea available. The green tea was a bit weak for my taste, but I'm just nitpicking. As always, more attention is paid to alcoholic offerings than quality tea. Sigh. After pre-dinner drinks are served, there is a pause to allow us to enjoy the bounty before us. A great chance to explore this adorable amenity kit. The bag itself is ostensibly made by artisans in Mexico. I really do love the pattern and colors and will certainly find a use for this pouch. Well, the bags are made in Mexico. The items contained within are all made in China. That being said, the toothbrush has a bamboo handle, of which I heartily approve, and the package is paper rather than plastic. I love this eye mask, also made by artisans apparently, because it does not feel like plastic, but rather real fibers. The lip balm is quality from Alchemy, and the socks actually feel like quality socks that a person could wear more than once. Overall, a surprisingly solid product for what is really a fancy economy class. After a respectable break to enjoy our pre-dinner cocktails, dinner is brought around. No doubt about it, the food is absolutely multiple steps up from economy class. Served on porcelain, not overheated, and quality ingredients. The sprouts and baby green salad comes with an upper-end salad dressing made from virgin olive oil and balsamic vinegar. For my main course, I have ordered the Korean option, which is tteokgalbi, which is basically grilled beef patties, and I have to admit that they are flavorful, tender, and perfectly cooked. The asparagus is a non-traditional choice and, well, overcooked, but that's me being perhaps unnecessarily fastidious. And the other veggies and the steamed rice are spot on. Service is both super attentive and friendly. Patrick and his colleagues pass through the cabin multiple times to refill our beverages without having to be asked. Good food, good service. 2 thumbs up. Dinner being complete, the cabin lights are dimmed to encourage passengers to sleep. You know, like covering a bird's cage. Over the next several hours, Patrick and his colleague come through the cabin multiple times with cups of water and snacks. And I know this because, despite my keenest efforts, and despite it being my natural bedtime, I cannot get comfortable enough to sleep in this seat. Dawn eventually comes in our timeless vessel, and the second meal service commences. They once more lay out tablecloths and serve beverages. Champagne is on the menu, once again underscoring the premium nature of this cabin. That being said, my breakfast beverage tastes will fail to thrill, just green tea and water for me. Because I ordered the Korean dinner option, I apparently automatically get the Korean breakfast option, which is rice porridge with shrimp and rolled egg omelet. It is good for what it is, although it could definitely use some toasted sesame oil. The porridge comes with fresh fruit, which is welcome in the arid environs of the plane. The other breakfast options also look good, and apparently my fellow passengers agree. Nothing but empty plates. So, let's chat about the seat. I had really high hopes coming into this flight that I would obtain a comfortable night's sleep in this recliner chair, but those hopes have been cruelly dashed. The seat neither reclines sufficiently, nor does the leg rest rise high enough to actually allow one to achieve a comfortable angle for sleep, or at least not me at any rate. The seat is also not terribly well padded. The regular steerage economy class seat on my recent Asiana Air flight was far superior in terms of cushiony comfort. And while the memory foam pillows were actually lovely, if I'd only had one, I would have been even less comfortable. I had used one pillow for lumbar support and the other for head padding. And let us also talk about this sad thing they call a blanket. It is a very narrow, not terribly warm synthetic fleece, and this plane is cold enough to cure meat for a gourmet Jamie Oliver restaurant. So I'm definitely coming into the day feeling what I think a recently turned zombie must do. Another downside to the Delta Premium Select product is that we do not have our own lavatory, but rather have to share with the entirety of the economy class cabin, which often means long waits for the facilities. As we prepare for landing, I gaze longingly into the Delta One cabin and resolve myself to check into the cost of upgrading to Delta One on my return flight. For all of the wonderful service and good food, the most important component for me on a long-haul flight is seat comfort, and the Delta Premium Select seat falls far short, especially compared to peers like All Nippon Airways. And, as it turns out, once I land, an offer to upgrade is indeed awaiting me. $699 to fly Delta One on the return trip, which would bring the total cost of the ticket to $1,900 round trip. Certainly far less expensive than having booked Delta One round trip at the outset. Have you flown Delta Premium Select? What are your thoughts? Overall good value for money in your opinion? Stay tuned for a video comparing Delta Premium Select to Delta One on this route. Until next time, fellow traveler, may your travels be creative and unexpected.